welcome back to Chin Music, our baseball show at TalkNorth.com. We're coming to you from the Aquarius Home Services Studios. We're presented by Giggly THC Beverages, GIGLI.com, and OnX Hunt. We'll tell you more about them in a little bit. We also want to tell you about a live show we have coming up, 7 p.m. Wednesday, March 26th, the Talk North Sports Report. Mark Rosen, Michael Russo, John Krasinski, LaVelle Neal, and myself kicking off this show that we hope ends up going for a very long time at the Parlay Kitchen and Bar in downtown Minneapolis. That is the renovated lower level of the Union Rooftop space. It's now a beautiful sports bar with great food. We're going to give away high-end sports tickets to your favorite teams. We're going to be there for at least an hour. We're going to have a lot of fun. Come out and join us. It will be a blast. Also want to let you know about Giggly THC Beverages, one of the sponsors of the Talk North Sports Report. I've been drinking them a lot. Bold flavors, some unusual flavors that you might not think you like, but you probably will. I've tried everything, and I really do like them. Real fruit juice. They're all natural, no hangovers, none of that high sugar lethargy you might get, low calorie. It's almost like they're magic. And they're actually very reasonably priced as well. I love them. You should try them out. Go to giggly.com, GIGLI.com. They can be found at your favorite liquor store and all Quick Trips across Minnesota. You can also get them shipped to your house. Definitely try out giggly.com. All right, Roy. Right now, the lineup is Royce Smalley and Jim Souhan. We're hoping LaVelle will be joining us here shortly. So, Roy, just as we get close to opening day here, how are you feeling about this team?
You know, I feel pretty good about it. Actually, we've talked a lot about what the strengths are. I think the pitching staff, if and when healthy, front to back, is going to be pretty stout, and that makes a difference in Major League Baseball these days, as everybody knows. And it may not feature Cy Young Award contenders in the starting rotation, 3 in a row or anything like that. But it features guys that are going to keep their teams, the team in the game until you get to a really, really good and deep bullpen. Again, assuming a good health from the key players. So it for me, it gets down to. And we haven't often said this about the Twins, but it gets down to offense, and the key guys staying healthy, and the younger kids are counting on continuing to step up. And so I think it's going to all hinge around how consistent the offense can be. I think they're going to pitch pretty well.
And of course, the biggest development of the spring is that Royce Lewis got hurt again and will not be on the opening day roster. Let's go big picture on this. You worked out really hard as a player in an era when not all ball players worked out that hard, and you were healthy and you were durable. The modern ball player seems to have trouble training hard, being explosive, and staying healthy. What do you think is going on with this, whether Royce specifically or modern baseball in general?
I can't answer that. I've tried, we've talked about this for years now. And I don't think anybody knows what the issues are, or else they would change them. Their trainers have gotten fired. Trainers have, they have been, replaced out with supposedly different philosophies, and so that the teams obviously recognize that there's a plethora of injuries. Just every year there's an epidemic of injuries to starting players, and I think if the experts knew what it was, they'd either A, fixed it, or B, come out and said, this is what should happen. If the players don't do it, there's nothing we can do about it. I'm not hearing anything like, we told Royce that if he didn't do this or that, or we told, whoever we told Carlos Correa that, if he didn't do this or that, he was going to get plantar fasciitis. I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish somebody knew. It's really frustrating for obviously the players and the teams affected, but it's frustrating for us fans, isn't it? You think about all winter long. You think about the prospects for a team and the prospects for baseball and who you're going to see competing against whom and um, and then it doesn't happen the way you wanted to see it. So frustrating for all of us, and I've got no answers for you.
My pet theory is that the modern baseball player prioritizes explosive movements and wants to be great and wants to make $10 billion over the course of their career, and knows that to do that, you got to hit the ball really hard. You got to throw the ball really hard. You have to be flexible and athletic. And I think they overtrain and don't let their bodies rest enough in the off season, and something pops during the season. That's my best guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good one because in lieu of anything else that we've heard, I don't know what to say, but I don't know what an exercise physiologist / PhD / orthopedic surgeon / combination of experts would say about that. But I think it's as good I do think that the body needs rest from working on explosive things and from working out myself. And I would never ever call myself a bodybuilder. But you read what bodybuilders talk about, and you read about what guys that are trying to build explosive strength, and you always hear about about the theory that you have to have rest, and you have to listen to your body and give it the rest that it needs, or you will overtrain. And this is just in lifting weights, in power or powerlifting, bodybuilding, explosive movements. You do have to listen to your body, and you have to give it enough time to recover from the extreme stress that you put on it, which is necessary to get the strength and the explosiveness. So I think your theory is probably as good as any. I don't know how much rest is needed, and every athlete is different, and every body is different, and every workout regimen is different. It requires different amounts of rest, and maybe that's the problem. I mean, maybe people don't really know what the signs are, or what kinds of full body rest a guy needs as he's trying to get bigger and stronger. I don't know.
I, like you, I think this is a good team. I think it's a good roster. I think the pitching depth should serve this team very well. But what worries me is last year I thought they had a good team, and they did have a good team for most of the year. And the Duran injury, which didn't look like a big deal in spring training, ended up costing him a month, and he was never quite himself the rest of the year. I'm just hoping for everybody's sake that is not the case with Royce.
Yeah, I mean, for everybody's sake, true. I mean, for his most of all. I mean, I feel so bad for guys that get injured once, in a serious way, and serious meaning causing a miss of several ball games. But I feel bad for the team and for all of us. I mean, like I said, we want to watch the really good players play, and it's when they don't play because of injury, it's tough on everybody, but especially the player, and especially Royce, who now has got to struggle mentally with the nagging thing in the back of his mind about being injury prone and blah blah blah, all that stuff. Whether he thinks it, or whether he thinks he hears it, whether he thinks the team suspects it or his teammates, it's just really it's not a good situation.
No, it kind of reminds me too. Byron Buxton is a lot of fun to talk to. He's a really good, down to earth guy, but when he's dealing with an injury, he becomes a recluse. He doesn't want to talk to people in media about his injuries. He just completely changes his personality. I don't blame him.
No, you can't blame it all. There's nothing. I don't know if there's anything more frustrating and potentially depressing than an athlete that wants to do athletic things and can't. I mean, it's just awful. And you think about it, I mean, this is what these guys live for, and the excitement they build, the preparation that they have over the offseason, the excitement that they build. to get the season started, and then nope, you're not doing that. It's just it's really tough.
It is. Chin Music is brought to you and presented to you by Onyx Hunt. Have you ever driven past a piece of land and wondered who owns that? Or maybe you need to know exactly where a property line runs? That's where the Onyx Hunt comes in. It's not just for hunters. There are folks using Onyx for their jobs every day throughout the country, from farmers and ranchers mapping out their fields, wildland firefighters navigating rough terrain, to construction workers needing to know who owns what property. This app offers something for everyone. If you need the best land ownership maps, aerial imagery, and property boundaries in your pocket, Onyx Hunt is the tool for the job. Try it free for 7 days. Download Onyx Hunt in the app or Google Play Store, or visit onyxmaps.com/hunt to get started. Also, we are presented and we're coming to you from the Aquarius Home Services Studios. Here's more about Aquarius Home Services.
Has your heating system ghosted you? Just not there when you needed it this winter? Scott from Aquarius Home Services. If your furnace has been hit or miss this winter, it might be time for an upgrade. Right now, save up to 25% on a new high-efficiency heating and cooling system, because comfort should never disappear. Enjoy reliability and peace of mind. Schedule your free estimate today at AquariusHomeservices.com. Aquarius, earning the right to be recommended.
So Paddock, to me, is kind of a big swing player. I could envision him settling in a contract year and kind of breaking out and being pretty good and giving them great pitching depth. I could also see him just not having the stuff or command, like a lot like what we saw last year. Which side of the fence are you on with him?
Well, I think you're right. I mean, it's going to be an either or, I think. And if he does kind of stay healthy and break out and become the pitcher that the stuff would seem to indicate would be possible, then it's going to be obviously huge for the Twins. And I don't know what to say. I'm firmly on the fence about him in terms of what do I think's going to happen. There are times when he has pitched and I thought, man, does this stuff play? And then, times where I think I can't figure out that stuff. I can't figure out the command or lack thereof, where at times he looks like he's got a really good fastball that either beats hitters or gets them really in a hurry so that his other stuff works. And then there are times when it starts out looking like that, and then all of a sudden there's 3 or 4 94, 95 mile an hour fastballs, absolute middle that get crushed, and game over for him. So until we see the command that he's got, I think that he's got enough stuff, but he doesn't have enough fastball to pitch in the middle of the plate. And so we're just going to have to wait and see whether or not being injury-free gives him a tick up in velocity a bit. We saw him at 97, sometimes 98, the 1 year at the end of the year when he came back and they put him in the bullpen, and he looked absolutely overpowering. When he starts, he kind of settles in on a good day at 95, which is plenty good enough with his changeup and breaking ball, plenty good enough, but not in the middle of the plate. I think hitters expect to see some fastballs. They don't ever really get off of it too much. And when they show up in the middle of the plate, guys tattoo those pretty well. So, we'll just have to see.
Yep. And let's go down to the next slot in the rotation. Simeon Woods Richardson, he was one of their most important pitchers last year. He gave them a lot when they needed a lot. But you and I have been talking about it for years. I tend to, one of my flaws in covering the Twins and analyzing baseball is I get excited about young players and project, and they don't always move on a linear path. They don't always improve at the rate at which you would expect. Do you see Simeon Woods Richardson having the stuff and command to really be good now that teams have seen him, or is this going to be a challenge for him?
I think teams have seen him enough so that we don't have to say, well, he's got to pitch a bit longer to, so that, teams haven't seen him enough yet. I think he's pitched to all the teams that they're going to be important that he pitches well against, in the division this year and elsewhere. I think elsewhere in the American League, I think teams have seen him enough that they know what he has. So it really is just dependent on him continuing to have command of his stuff, and we saw that command a lot. Have really good command and pitch really well, and then we saw him have games when he didn't have the command. But here's I think one interesting nugget for me. I think about the games that he had last year when Rocco's walking out there in the fourth inning or the fifth inning, and it was never really about getting clubbed around, getting hit real hard. It was about getting it, for example, getting into the fifth inning. You know how the games are now. I mean, they don't believe anybody can go through the lineup a third time anyway. Doesn't matter who you are. They start getting twitchy about getting a starting pitcher out of there. Getting close to the third time through the lineup. And with Simeon, what seems to me to have happened most of the time is they get into the fifth inning, and then all of a sudden, where he hadn't had this issue at all for 4 really good innings, then all of a sudden it's walk somebody, go ball 3 on the next guy, give up base hit, walk somebody. It wasn't getting rocked. It was all of a sudden there's 2 guys on base via the walk, and now he's got to try to nibble around and either not able to do it to get out of that, or Rocco doesn't give him a chance. He's seen enough. He's lost his command. I'm not letting him go. I'm not letting him go any farther. So I think with Simeon, I think that's actually a good thing because that's fixable, right? If you go into the fifth inning and you're still throwing strikes on corners of the strike zone or close enough where you're getting guys to chase and you're not walking anybody, then he's got a chance to go through the sixth inning, and that's the thing. I think I'm going to be waiting to see about him can he carry the good command that he generally seems to have the first 2 times through the lineup, and then as he gets along, then can he maintain that, or does he lose it? And is it a question of, I know the third time around's coming and I'm starting to nibble now, and now I've walked 2 guys. I mean, I don't know what the reason is, but it seems fixable to me. It doesn't seem like, well, they've seen his stuff the third time around, they kill him. That's not my recollection and my impression.
Interesting. All right. Hey, let's thank the other companies that make this show and this network possible. Let's start with our colleague Michael Russo for Clamshell Beach Resorts.
Hey, have you been dreaming of a lake cabin lifestyle with boating, fishing, and family fun in northern Minnesota? Well, lately I've thought a lot about how cool it would be to have a getaway like so many Minnesotans. And if you're like me, you probably think that owning your own lakeside getaway is beyond your budget. Well, if you think lake cabin real estate prices keep going up, well, think again. This is Russo, and I'm here to tell you there is an affordable way to enjoy a cabin lifestyle and all that goes with it. And yes, I said affordable. I founded a Clamshell Beach Resort, which is located on the Whitefish chain of 14 lakes for you and your family to enjoy. Here's how. Clamshell has lake homes that offer deeded fractional ownership, and the keywords there are deeded and fractional. You own it. Imagine having 5 weeks a year to enjoy Clamshell with its beaches, pool, and lodge that's full of kids' activities. Is golf your game? There's a great golf course right across the road. Like winter sports? Well, you can go ice fishing, cross-country skiing, or snowmobiling right out the door at Clamshell. And there's no maintenance, no grass mowing, no snow removal. It's done all for you. And you can own a share of Clamshell Beach Resort at an affordable price. To learn more about ownership opportunities at Clamshell Beach Resort, go to cottagesonwhitefish.com or contact Pat Egan at 612-220-9819. That's cottagesonwhitefish.com or Pat Egan at 612-220-9819.
Also, thanks to a Minnesota company that does great work, Minnesota Masonic Charities.
When people think of the Freemasons, they often think of secret handshakes and unusual hats, and of course, the pancake breakfast. Minnesota Masonic Charities would prefer that you think about the work that they do right here in our community. Places like the Masonic Cancer Center at the University of Minnesota or the Masonic Children's Hospital and the Masonic Home in Bloomington. They are just a few examples of the important work that the Freemasons support here in Minnesota. As part of the largest fraternal organization in the world, Masons have consistently answered the call when it comes to charitable needs. We look forward to learning so much more about their many programs here in the weeks to come.
Here's another one of our Talk North podcast colleagues, John Krasinski, for what True Vision Institute did for him.
True Vision Institute in Bloomington. I've been telling you about it for months now. Just a life-changing experience for me to go to True Vision and have LASIK surgery this summer. Everything is easier for me after having LASIK surgery. I don't have the hassles of contacts and eyeglasses. I don't have to worry about going in for annual appointments to get the eyes checked, and also to make sure that I have the latest and greatest style of glasses, and I'm not looking like some washed up 46-year-old like I am, trying to stay ahead of the trends. I don't have that anymore. I'm just going around free and clear without anything on my face. And that's all thanks to the good folks at True Vision. When you go into True Vision, you will immediately notice how welcoming, how warm, how friendly, and how knowledgeable the staff is there. They get you in, they get you checked out, they find the right vision correction options for you. And then Dr. Chu is just world class in how he helps you through the procedure, how he makes sure that he gets you taken care of, and like he did with me. And I've had zero issues with my vision since I had the surgery in July. And I just keep kicking myself and wishing I would have done it 10 years ago. So go to truevision.com and set up your consultation. Tell them the John Krasinski Show sent you, and get on with your life. Make it easier on yourself, and just get to the point where you can kick your own self in the butt and say, why didn't I do this a long time ago?
So how are you feeling about third base?
Well, I'm feeling a little less certain than I was a little while ago.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that there's a positive that comes out of this. I'm not going to say what I'm about to say and try to dress it up in any way as a positive that Royce is hurt, because nobody wanted that. But it does open up a spot where there were players kind of bunched up and not knowing which guys were going to play where and how often. And that settles that down a little bit. They've got an opportunity now to play Brooks Lee at third and second base to, I'm blanking on our super utility
Willie Castro.
guys. Willie Castro at second base, which I know they like him there. They could flip that and play Willie Castro at third and Brooks Lee at second if they want Lee to be the everyday second baseman eventually, and just say, look, this is here, you're going to play here, and Willie's going to play third until Royce gets back, and then Willie's going to play a little bit everywhere. They've got it opens things up at the DH slot for Miranda, and so Miranda going back potentially between first and third and DH or whatever. So I think there are some things that are going to maybe get settled out. And what I'm especially thinking about is Brooks Lee. I'm especially thinking, it seems to me that now he's got a chance to play every day somewhere. And what I really want to see is how that offense matures, where he goes next offensively if he's playing every day. And so again, that's a positive in the sense for us finding out for Brooks and the rest of us finding out what he can do. Highly anticipated offensive player. Okay, he's gonna play every day now for sure. That's at least that is a good thing for Brooks Lee.
Yeah, good point. He had a little back issue this week. We're all hoping that won't be a serious thing. You never know with backs, but he should be fine for the season, I would think. My rating of Miranda as a fielding third baseman is that he gives you an effort, but he's below average. What's your evaluation of him there?
Yeah, I think he's average at best. I mean, here's a situation that you see quite a bit. We talked a little bit about defense last week, but in the outfield and how that can separate a player from another player who's kind of the platoon idea, because one of the players is vastly superior defensively. And which can be solved if you're vastly superior offensively, right? And that's where I think that it all comes down to for Miranda. If if he absolutely tears it up in run production, then he's going to play. He can play third base. You know, I mean, that's that, and he will play third base. But that will be interesting too. And he's one of those guys that I was thinking about with Royce Lewis down. Okay, does he go over there to third base while they see how he's going to, how he's going to start the season offensively? And if he's tearing it up, then he's going to be adequate at third, I think, in most people's minds. They're not going to like it that he's not better, but they're going to say, okay, for that kind of offense, good enough. And it's all of those kinds of things besides just the lineup and looking at guys staying healthy and looking at guys taking the next step. It's those kind of things that have me looking at the offense as being the key to this, because, Miranda has been, really an important part of the offense at different streaks for the last 3 years. And, what's it going to be like? Is he an offensive threat? Is he a threat to be a really top flight offensive player or not? And it all depends on how he swings the bat.
Yes, it does. All right, let's go to our Booze and Blues segment. We cap every show with, because if you like baseball, you should also like Booze and Blues. I'm just going to say it. They all go together very well. So I will start, Roy, and I don't think this is going to be up your alley. I'm going to offer a very affordable, very simple summer drink. If you're on the patio, listening to the game, watching the game, this is something you can make that's very simple, that I really like a lot. It's not high end and it's not expensive. You get a decent Blanco tequila. We use Cenote, but there are I'm sure there are a bunch of different mid-range brands out there. You don't want to spend a lot for it, but you also don't want the junk that's going to give you a headache. So just good enough Blanco tequila, can of squirt, salt, ice, maybe lime juice if you want to get fancy. Basically, when we were in Mexico once on a vacation, and we became friendly with the waiter. We saw a lot, and he started telling us that, Americans think that margaritas are the drink of Mexico. Paloma is the drink of Mexico, and it's basically grapefruit juice, with some kind of sweetener, good, decent tequila, lime juice, ice, et cetera, et cetera. Well, that's great. But if you're going to use grapefruit juice, you got to find a way to sweeten it up. So you're not just drinking straight grapefruit juice. The cheap American version of a Paloma, squirt, can of squirt. It's amazing how well that works.
Well, you're right. You lost me on.
I know that. I know that wouldn't be up your alley.
You lost me on the squirt.
Yep.
You're right about the Paloma, and that's a really refreshing drink. I can drink those. I'm not a sweet guy, and tequila oftentimes is just sweet enough for me that I don't mind it with grapefruit juice and tequila and ice. I mean, that doesn't bother me a whole lot. But I'm not totally off the whole idea of tequila and something on ice. And I just like club soda. I don't really need the sweet, and I like tequila and lime, right? So
yes.
Good tequila, some club soda, and then you almost can't get too much lime in there for me. I like lime juice, and I have noticed the limes are really tough. Limes are tough on me. I've noticed that. I think I'm allergic to them. I mean, after 8 or 9 limes, I'm just
8 or 9 limes.
I'm just, and I'm sure it's
not
limes,
8 or 9 drinks. 8 or 9 limes.
No, it's the limes. I think I'm allergic to limes.
I think that's what it is. It's the limes. It's absolutely not the tequila. It's the limes. We figured it out. We've cracked the code. I'll also offer a musical recycling, because I took a trip this week, and I get bored on flights, so I end up watching music concerts. The Last Waltz is just a masterpiece.
Oh gosh,
I could watch it every day.
It is so good. It is so good. We have a group of friends that a tradition of ours. We go out to our one friend's house who lives on Lake Minnetonka. He's got a beautiful boat, and we go out on the lake. There'll be 6 or 8 of us, and we go out on the lake and go to one of the traditional spots for lunch, and or dinner, and then come back. And we all sit down and watch The Last Waltz. It's just like without fail, once a year we are going to sit there and be mesmerized again by those guys.
It's unbelievable. And Scorsese just nails it. Also, somebody recommended me watch the documentary on Norm's Rare Guitars. It's an amazing story. It's an amazing music story. It's an amazing business story, amazing relationship story. And I didn't realize that Norm, had supplied all the funky guitars to pretty much everybody in The Last Waltz. He also supplied the Gibson 335 that Michael J. Fox plays in Back to the Future. He supplied the guitar. Basically, if you've seen cool vintage guitars in a Hollywood production, they were supplied by Norm's Rare Guitars. It's just a great documentary. Maybe the Booze and Blues segment should be an entire show, because I could talk about that documentary for days.
Hey, I've got a booze and baseball, quick booze and baseball tweet that I saw that my daughters sent to me today that I got the biggest kick out of. So we all know about the bullpen idea. It's a bullpen game. Well, this guy sends a picture of his refrigerator. He's opened his refrigerator. He's got about 8 beers in there, and there's a different kind of. It's all one-offs. About 8 different kind of beers. He goes, "Well, there's a bullpen game tonight." That just made me laugh. I mean,
that's fantastic.
I just thought that was really, really clever. We got a bullpen game. We're gonna have 8 different one-offs here tonight.
I love it. It's fantastic. Good stuff, Roy. Enjoyed speaking with you. We'll talk again next week. Thanks to everyone who listens to TalkNorth.com. Best way to listen to this show or any show on the network, please subscribe to your favorite podcast app. If you can, support the sponsors who support us and have made this network possible. We do appreciate all of their contributions. And again, we'll see you 7 o'clock Wednesday, March 26th at Parlay Kitchen and Bar, downtown Minneapolis, for the first Talk North Sports Report led by Mark Rosen.